How was your weekend, man?
It was beautiful, man. I was recovering a little bit from running up and down to and from Sacramento, but yeah, it was good. It was a good weekend.
So we just gonna jump into it, Burns, because I'm really passionate about this show. Padraic, you come from an amazing story. You come from an amazing story, and we're gonna talk about prison reform. We're gonna talk about your construction business. You've helped out a lot of industry people. You've helped out some people that have some shops in the town. Mm-hmm. You've helped politicians. You've helped people. You've helped people get out of jail. Can you just, in a short sentence, what drives you? Before we get into it, what has driven you to be so great, man?
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. I really appreciate it. I think what drives me most is to give back, and specifically to give back to a community that embraced me and took me in when I was a young man, well, really a boy, and embracing me and building me up and showing me a lot of love. And that's really what molded me and made me the person I am. So I feel obligated to make sure I reach back and try to pull as many people as I can forward with me.
I love it. Yep. I love it, man. And even talking about that, your story is so great because of the fact that I was able to get the presser from Eb and everything like that, but just the story and how you've been able to help people who actually I know went through the One Treasure
Island,
program.
Yep.
I know some friends that came
right?
through that.
Oh,
joint.
that's dope. That's really dope.
So for me to talk to you, and you are the co-founder of that, it's man, just talk about your story and how you got there.
Sure. No, I appreciate that too, and I'm glad to know that you know some people that came through that. So the program actually existed for decades on Treasure Island, and it puts an emphasis on job training and financial literacy and all kinds of programs aimed towards folks who have been incarcerated, houseless folks. This is a really amazing program run by Sherry Williams, who is just a person that anybody who grew up in the city really knows about. My connection to it is that, I came from, as you talked about, a life and a community where my life took me down the wrong road.
Right.
I was able to get through that, and specifically the way I got through that is by having an opportunity to get into construction trades.
Man, but just what's so crazy, what got you to construction, and bear with me, I'm trying to paint the story because of the fact that it's all going to come together. Trust me on that one. To get to the construction, you have to come through some hard times,
yes,
and in that hard time, you ran into some violence.
For sure. Yeah. No, I definitely ran into some violence. Almost, took me and my whole little crew down. As we all know, when you grow up in a certain way, all the older people in the community are telling you what your options are, right? It's either go to jail, get shot, or get on drugs. And pretty much that's what happened to, one of those things happened to all of us in this crew. So for me, it was getting shot in the face.
Wow.
And that's really not what changed me. That actually made me worse. But then my brother, he got a bid, and we went down for a while, and that really got me sort of saying, man, I really need to look for something different. So what came about was an opportunity to work in Albany at a teen center, working with troubled youth. And I'm sitting here working with so-called troubled youth, telling them what they shouldn't do, and then at night, I'm going to the city and doing everything that I told them they shouldn't do.
Right.
So I started feeling real hypocritical. Also, at the same time, I was a real good baseball player in high school. I had an opportunity to coach a little league team in Albany.
I could never play baseball.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm a lefty.
Okay.
And they put me on St. Mary's High School.
Okay.
Shout out to the Panthers.
For sure. My kids went there. My two oldest kids went there.
I know everybody. That's the house that I built. For real,
okay.
for real. But they just put me on the team because I was a lefty. I was like, I
needed a lefty back.
We played basketball and football
for sure.
growing up on Grove Street,
right.
which is very close. But shout out to you.
No,
Keep
for
going,
sure.
man.
I love that. And so I coached a little league team. And the reason that's relevant in the story is because my center fielder, Tony Barbero, great kid, his father would come to practice.
Tony Barbero from St. Mary's?
Yes,
man.
Tony.
Come on, man. They had the sandwich joint. And the sandwich
Yeah,
shop.
right there.
Man.
Yeah,
Yo, we mob.
That's
Man, we
crazy.
mob affiliated in a great way, though.
That's
Don't worry about
that's
it.
my guy, brother. So you know his dad, Marcello?
Yeah.
Okay, so Marcello would come pick him up. And you know Marcello,
Yeah.
OG,
yeah.
We can't cuss on here,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
no, we can.
We can, okay.
Listen, no holds bar. Fuck
Word.
it.
So Marcello, that's my kind of shit. So Marcello had his shit together, as you know. So he's pulling up to practicing games, picking up Tony. I'm like, yo, this dude really have his shit together. So I'm like, what do you do? And he said, I'm in construction. I said, well, I love working with kids, but it's not paying the bills. That's how it happened.
No
That's how it
shot.
happened.
Yo, shout out Tony Barbero, his brother. Mario, the whole fam.
Yep.
I'm CO 98, so I'm a little, so it's a lot of cats I know.
That's beautiful.
But Tony, my guy.
No, that's
Tony, my guy.
He's a fireman up in Reno now.
No
just had a baby.
shot.
Just had a baby.
Shot.
Yeah.
Yo, congratulations.
Yeah.
We got to get him this clip. It's finna be crazy.
Sure. And you know what a solid person he was, right?
A solid person.
And his dad was obviously the same way. So he gave me the number to the apprenticeship coordinator for Local 16, which is heat and frost insulators. They're the ones who put the insulation on the pipes and ducts. So I didn't know what the hell it was. I'm straight off the block, you know what I'm saying, trying to find my way. Gives me the number. I called a apprentice coordinator. They send me the wage rate sheet, and I'm looking at the time. This is almost 30 years ago, something like that. You know, it was $15 an hour. Then the next year you get 20-some. The year after that you damn near 30. You top out at like $40. I'm like, yo, this is something I can do. And
it's a good lick.
Yeah, this is a lick.
Yeah.
So I signed up for that, and I finally went out to the refineries, which was, culture shock for me.
I drug tested there years ago.
There you go.
At Chevron and all that.
Yeah, well, I had to prepare for that, but I got through, and I go out to Martinez. I'm from San Francisco, so I like 65, 75 degree weather. I get out there in Martinez, it's 105.
For real.
I'm in full, what I'm saying, the coveralls or whatever we called them back then, and masks on and all this. Man, it was just, and working with a bunch of rednecks, it was culture shock. But I knew this was my shot. I knew this was my shot at life, so I choked the shit out of that opportunity, and I rose up from apprentice to journeyman to foreman to general foreman to superintendent.
There you go.
To estimator, to project manager, to eventually have my own company. Now that was a long process. It didn't happen overnight.
No, it didn't.
But that was really my shot, and so that led me to having my own company, and along the way I noticed that it wasn't a lot of people who was in the trade that came from what I came from, and I was like, yo, this is a really, really good opportunity, and I want to put as many people on as I can.
Man, I'm gonna stop you there because of the fact that what you said in the presser that I got from Eb was that, number one, you didn't let your circumstances stop you, but you let your hustle and passion help you grind harder. That's the part that really was like, yo, because when you have street tools and knowledge and you come from the block and whatever, when you actually apply yourself and hold on to those values and really chop that up the right way and build that pack back up and come and do some of the things that you're doing, yo, shout out, man, Padraic, yo.
Well, that's funny because that's my IG handle, The Ryte Way.
Right Way.
That's really what I did. I figured that when I got there into the trade, I was like, yo, this is an opportunity. This is a chance at a career, not just a job. And I looked around, I was like, none of these motherfuckers has been through what I've been through. None of them. They can't fuck with me. And I'm just about to that's how we all feel when we come from that, right? When you get in that opportunity, you're going to be able to go hard, and you're going to be able to withstand a lot that other people can't. And your determination to not go back is just so strong, man. So that's really what I applied to it. And I appreciate you, noticing that.
No, man. Listen, I listened to it. I listened to it, and I really just tried to really take on the mindset of a person that was shot in the face. But not only that, transitioning, you help your attacker.
Yeah, and that was a long time later, but yes, that is that recently happened, man. So he went down, and then and he actually did a lot of shit while he was down, and while he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing, and hooked up with One Treasure Island. And part of One Treasure Island is obviously employing people that have been incarcerated. Like I have dudes that was down for 20 plus years for murder beefs and stuff, right? And so the real beauty of the 1TI thing and the whole thing is it started making me look at my own situation. I was like, yo, if I don't apply that to my own life, then am I really about that work of giving people other opportunities?
Right.
And so I reached out to him via letter. We exchanged letters. Another person helped us connect. I actually went up to where he was down, and we had about a 2-hour visit. It was powerful, bro. It was like crazy.
Man,
And
I got chills, y'all.
It was
Burns.
crazy. It was crazy.
I got chills because of the fact that you don't hear about that. Again, you're rocking with OL Knows at allinradio.com. It is the Royal Fam Hour. We're hanging out here talking to Padraic Ryan, who is doing things the right way. and it's not just talk, it's action. Like, I come from Grove and 54th. Before it was Martin Luther King.
Right.
And to come up with the Black Panther era and to come up with drugs in the community and to come up with, you know, your partners hustling and slanging the people in your family, to forgive people is huge.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of people that can stare at a person that sold their family members drugs and still be their friend. Or still, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's funny you say that, though, because like I've had conversations with people in my family who haven't understood what I've been doing. Because to reference what you were talking about earlier, he wasn't getting out, and we were trying to work it. And then finally, he had a parole hearing, and I went before the parole board, and I was like, "Yo, it's time. Let this dude out, man. Like, what? If I'm not tripping, why are you tripping? Let him out."
Right.
But to your point, a lot of my people was like, they was having a problem with it. They was like, I don't understand why you doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, it's really not for you to understand, but I get that.
Right.
Because if somebody harms my family,
Man, that's a cold
I
one.
probably won't forgive them. It's easier to forgive when somebody transgresses against you. Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then, you know, I have a lot of people, so-called Christians, telling me they can't understand this forgiveness, but I'm like, well, isn't that what your whole religion is based on?
Right,
So,
right.
But yeah, no, it was a long process, but it really was powerful. Really, really powerful. So,
Yo, we're coming back. We got Padraic Ryan in the building. Yo, we got heat still coming. Burns, we got one song and then we're coming back.